Welcome back to the Unlikely Overlander channel. I'm Triz. We're jumping back in on the tin top.
Okay, sit still everybody, don't go away.
Last video we left off, I had just got the door fabbed up for this side and was waiting on the plate for the latch. Still waiting on those. Should be here by the end of the week. So until then, I got this cab corner I'm going to work on, and then we'll start cutting out on the other side. I'll show you what I got going on here with this cab corner, and we'll get started. You know, that corner, the cab is kind of stopped there, so we want to make it look more uniform. So what I did is I cut this corner out, which is actually the top rear corner of that body over there, but it's gonna fit anyway. It'll fit on there. About like that. In typical me fashion, I didn't cut it out very good. But then you're probably wondering about this square right here. Well, what I want to do there is I'm running out of hands. I've got this piece here. Ignore the hole in it. I gotta fix that. I mean, it's ugly. But to continue that body line out, I'm gonna put this here. And then we'll just kind of taper this body line here. We'll just kind of fade it into that corner. We'll fade it in to that corner back there. All right, real quick, I apologize. I had someone pull in to visit with me when I was finishing welding it up, and I never came back and showed you what it looked like. So there's our corner. I kind of messed up. This shouldn't be set back in this far, almost flush. It should have a little stick out to it. So I'm going to redo that and extend that body line out to about here and just fade it out. And then this lower one I want to wrap a little bit further into the corner. So I'm going to redo that a little bit, but that sure looks a lot better than that big old hole there. So that's what that is. Now let's carry on. All right, everybody, what's going on? We're back out here. I want to get started on the inside of this door before I jump over and do the other side. It's just I want to see it finished up, or at least mostly finished. You saw me putting the cab corner on the other day. Before I jump on that door, I want to try and cut out what pieces I need out of this. Keep my door jambs cut out in my other corner over there. All right, let's cut up a car. There we go. Got one door frame ready. All right, so I got some nice, just universal little bear claw latches. I got these because they're nice and small. And then I got the mounting hardware kit for it just because it makes life easier. So you get the plate there, and then you get the capture nut for the inside of the door, or for the door jamb. So what I'm working on now, set that down, is you can see this comes out even with this line. So I'm just going to trim all of this off down to this line here. I'm trying to leave this, I want a storage pocket at the bottom. I can't really explain what my plan is here, but you'll see it. It's going to, hopefully, will be pretty cool when I'm done. Anyway, enough yapping. Let me get the cutoff wheel, start cutting that off. Oh, I forgot I had magnets on it. I was like, man, that's in there good. Duh. Okay, so now that we got that out of there, then this should just fit right there. Alright, you can see we got that welded all in. And I get my latch mounted and I can start on the other side of the door. Alright, we got cleaned up the welds on that a little bit. Let's stick this in here. I know a lot of you guys joined to watch this build, and I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you'll bear with me while I work on, have to fill in on some other projects here and there to keep the cash flow going for this one. But we try to make, do fun stuff. I've got another tin top down there that belongs to a buddy of mine. I'm going to be getting it, ordering everything I need for it. We're going to do a carb swap on it, put a 3K carb on it. Then we're going to yank the axles out from underneath it and do a spring over, possibly rears up front. And building some rock sliders, and not sure if we'll be doing bumpers and stuff too. I think we will. So that'll probably be one video where we knock that out. But then that'll be ready for him. And then I've got one more video up my sleeve I'm not going to talk about just yet, but I think you guys will find it entertaining. And it should generate some revenue, something y'all might be interested in. Give you a hint. I'm going to be selling something. Possibly. Anyway. Ta-da. So, with that, then this can be. Okay, so that's got to push down. I want to grab a door handle. I know we're nowhere near ready for it, but I want to see if I got it even anywhere close to the right linkage to make that work. Actually looks intact. All right. So I'm not prepared. I think I lost the nuts for these. See if I've got some laying over here. Dang it. I can't find my nuts. Get down here. Don't you hate it when this happens? Well, I know I hate it when this happens. I can't find my nuts. I don't like it when I can't find my nuts. And I don't really want to ask y'all to help me look for my nuts. That seems weird. So I'll be back after I locate my nuts.
The next day.
Hello, we are back out here. When I left off yesterday, I welded in the door latch and was starting to figure out my linkage for my door handle. And I was also waiting on some door actuators, which showed up. So I'm going to get the camera pointed down here and we're going to start figuring out this linkage. Hopefully y'all can see that. Should be able to. So I put a new clip in the door handle here, so we'll just have to clip it there. And I'm going to cut it roughly right about here for now. This is just an extra piece I had, or not an extra piece, a piece out of the old hardware. So let's cut it off real quick. Alright. And I need to figure out which direction. Might actually use that end. Got that extra bend in it, might make it a little better. Alright, we put a little bend in this. Let's see if I guesstimated it the right length. That looks like it'll work. See if I got another clip in this pack that I'm sure they charged me way too much for. Not an ideal one. Their assorted packs leave a lot to be desired. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, sorry about that. We got our rod hooked up here. Nice, simple thing. I don't have the door actuator on there yet, and this gravity makes it lock itself. So I'm going to hold that up with my finger, and we should be ready to... Oh yeah, works flawless. So now I got to figure out a put the actuator in here and get the catch on the door. All right, we've got the latch working with the exception of the door lock. I got to think a while on how I want to do that actuator. Seems pretty straightforward, but I'm also trying to think of my plan for the door, and I want to do it right the first time. Take my time and think about it. Anyway, I've got the captive nut here for the stud that the latch catches on, the door catch, I guess you would call it. Turn you over here. Hopefully this camera will cooperate. It argues with me sometimes. Got the captive nut. I've traced it on here. Obviously it goes in this way. But boy, you guys can't see shit. I gotta figure out a light. Let me do that. I'll be right back. Alright. Hopefully you guys can see. I set a light up here. Not sure if it's enough. Anyway, we got that marked out. Obviously this gets turned around when it's mounted, but for marking the hole. That should line us up pretty good. So let's cut that out. Alright guys, I went ahead and just welded that in. I didn't really have a lot of room to get a camera in here and show you. Plus, I was worried about the camera being too close and catching some flack from the welder, some sparks. Really don't want to ruin a camera. Anyway, got that latch welded in. So, we've got one closing door. Now I've just got to figure out, I've just got the lock zip tied up now so it don't accidentally lock. We got to get that lock figured out, and of course finish the inside of the door. Hopefully you can see right there. I'm going to cut this out right here. We're going to put another piece in. That's going to give me a spot to, where did I put it? It's over here. Mount my door lock actuator. So that's got that welded in there. Then once this cools off, we can take our door actuator and put in there. Figure out where we need to drill our holes to mount it to. Then we can, like I said, we'll proceed on and get this door skinned out. So maybe then you guys can see why I don't want to do a window. Because my gosh, you guys were bitching about that. Do a window, do a window, do a window. Newsflash, it's for me, not for you guys, so I'm going to build it how I want. I like suggestions, but not demands. Anyway, be back shortly. Alright, so you see I've got folded up here. I'll just pull this out. I made this, which still needs a lot of cleaning up. You know, we'll make that look better. But it's pretty well welded up. I need to hit a few spots there. That's going to sit right in there. We get welded up, and then I'm going to come back and cut this section out here down to about here. That way, if I need to get in here and work on my latch or anything, I can. And this section will just, it'll be attached to the middle section here. Anyway, you'll see it when I get there. But yeah, we'll get that welded in there. Where did all my tools go? I had pliers and I had all these fancy things to do my job with. And now they're all gone. Man, that'd be dangerous if I knew where stuff was. All right, quick disclaimer. Last clip on the video there, you were seeing me put the bottom tray in and kind of just start working on the inner door skin. I did not film much at all because I was kind of figuring it out as I went and doing a lot of head scratching, and that's not real exciting to sit and film that. You guys definitely wouldn't want to watch me just sitting there staring at it. So I would get an idea, and then I would start doing it, and then I would be done, and I hadn't filmed any of it because I wasn't sure it was going to work. And yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay, there's no other way to say that. I'm dumb. We'll get that. But anyway, I'll show you what we got. And when we do the other side, I'll have a plan already because I did this one so we can jump in and show in more detail what's going on. Like I say, we're still learning this YouTube thing. We're getting better as we go, but at least you're getting to see it. Anyway, I'm going to jump back to it. Try and get this video out to you. I just literally ran out here while editing the video to tell you that. Anyway, we shall return. We're just starting at the top of the door there, working our way down. I just went ahead and closed off this where everybody was telling me to put a window. Sorry, not happening. And this seam you see here, which this will be up tight. It's just I held on with some magnets right now and it slid down. But that will be removable. I'll show you here in a minute so that you still have access to your latch mechanism. Okay. But that way you still have access to get in there to your latch. And so I'm going to set y'all up on tripod real quick and I'll show you this other part. Okay, you should be able to see what I'm doing a little better now. I've got just magnets holding this on. So this will sit up nice and tight like that. I'll actually be putting a hole here and a hole here with a couple screws through, but then you'll have 2 screws here, 2 here, 2 here, and 1 or 2 over here. So if you need to get in and work with your door latch or your lock actuator, it's not an issue. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. I apologize that I didn't film a lot of doing this door, the interior of this door. I will when I do the other side. Like I stated, there's just, sitting and trying to figure it out, and then I'd get an idea in mind, and I'd sit down and try it and realize I didn't even turn the camera on, and, bonehead moves. But, a lot more detailed. We might have a different video for you next week. Probably won't be on the tin top, but we got something cool coming up. And then, always working on this in the background so that you'll get continuous videos. I picked up the transmission for it the other day. Just gathering parts and getting ready to move forward with this once I get the body roughed in the way I want it. There'll be tons of body work still to do, but at least if I get it, closed off, get the floor back in it, body mounts on, then I can take it off the frame and figure out what I'm going to do for my suspension and all that good stuff. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. If you like what you're seeing, hop on, grab some merch, support the channel. We got memberships, a couple bucks a month. Get videos a couple days early. Like, subscribe, share, comment. That's the biggest way to help. That does more than you know, and it doesn't cost you a dime. So anyway, we appreciate y'all so much. We'll see you hopefully next week. Peace.